So today we'll continue with the international events. So in that some events related to um, summits like the artificial intelligence safety summit. So UNFCCC the conference of parties summit, APEC and Global Food Regulators Summit. We'll see. So we'll see one by one. And in this, the Bletchley Declaration is significant because this is the first such summit which was held with respect to artificial intelligence. And apart from that, we also had the recent news that the European Union had the first law to regulate the artificial intelligence safety issues for the first time in the world, right? So regulation, its conduction, and all these aspects of AI is in news. And even India had India AI mission, which has been launched recently. So there are many developments with respect to artificial intelligence in this regard, both at the national level as well as at the international level for past 1.5 years. So both in prelims and mains, so you try to consolidate all these information. What are all the various steps taken up by individual countries as a grouping and as well as India as a nation individually. Okay, so all these information, try to have it. And even in mains, you can expect some questions with regard to AI safety, the challenges in managing it, how it is going to involve both as a tool for curbing security issues and acting as a tool which threatens the security, right? So in both the aspects, they can ask it. Right. So this Bletchley declaration, which was placed in UK. So we had this particular declaration on artificial intelligence safety and its usage with respect to safe site. Okay. So here there are member countries. You can see different countries across globe have participated in this. You can have China, USA, UK, EU, okay, all in one go. Also, you had some countries from Africa also. So you had Kenya, you have Nigeria, Rwanda. Okay, so cutting across many spheres, we have whether it is going to be EU members or it is going to be OECD members or it is going to be the Middle East members. So you can see variety of countries which are there in this scenario. Okay, so they can ask in the MASH Bletchley declaration. So what is what? Okay. So previously we have also seen some declarations in the last two previous sessions. So all these put together, a master plan can also be there. A simple thing what they can provide. So other than that, in mains, this is again going to be a significant issue with respect to safety of artificial intelligence. Clear? So not much is going to be asked in otherwise, but they can ask you about who are all the participating countries. So what they actually aim at. Okay, so the catastrophic harm or deliberate or unintentional use of artificial intelligence in security issues. So those aspects they can target, and mostly the member countries they can ask you. But the idea is that to consolidate all these aspects, because every AI summit, so that can also be a match. Okay, so what G7 countries did, what because in Japan, Hokkaido, we had a G7, they came with the AI summit, like this declaration. Similarly, the G5, those group of countries, they had New Delhi declaration with respect to AI. So for all these, you consolidate and have this, that can be a match. Okay, so that's one simple area, but significant area. Okay. Now, the most important aspect is the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, so which happens in Dubai in the last year. So especially by November, December, we had this summit in UAE. So this is one of the significant thing because we had many developments which have happened for the first time in this particular summit. Okay. So you know the details of UNFCCC because already it was in news for various reasons, and you know the grouping members. So one four members are there, and it started with way back Earth Summit or Rio Summit. But the most important thing is the loss and damage fund. For the first time we had climate and health linked together. So even in mains you can have some questions linking climate and health because climate and poverty they have linked now for the first time climate and health because they had a separate summit for it. So 124 countries have signed, and especially from various aspects, that is Africa, cutting across the continent, they have. And similarly, World Climate Action Summit was announced. And for the first time, we had the health day organized by UNFCCC. So these are some of the first thing which is operated. So it happens. And similarly, for loss and damage fund with respect to climate for the least developed and island nations. So World Bank, as of now, is going to be the interim host, okay, until the full host is going to happen. So until now, it is going to be there. And similarly, they had another one, the global stock take text, which has been unveiled. So fifth such stock take has been happened. That is, they try to take up what are all the issues, the targets, and how far they have achieved. So all these informations they have done. And apart from that, the global methane pledge. So how to reduce methane emissions. So by 2030, what are the targets? And similarly, you know, we have also seen different global methane pledges which were there, the global trackers, what we have. So various steps for addressing methane, right? And similarly, renewable energy pledge. So by 2030, 11,000 gigawatts, they are going to have it. And cooling pledge. So how to achieve by 2050 that what we call the targets of Paris. Then climate finance with respect to the new collective quantified goal. Thereby we try to have climate finance for the developing countries. So all these have been, these are all drafts. Okay, so these are all drafts, but still the first part is very much important, and we have to pull the energy produced from nuclear sources. So by 2050, okay, this is endorsed by 22 nations. So supporting the aspects. So these are some of the important things which you can have. So because they will, what they do, they will compare it with 2022. Okay, so in 2022, so you can have it in the Insta from this particular page onwards. So from 2022, what they do, they have some targets or they have some new, initiatives launched, right? So in Sharm el Sheikh. So what they do, they will mix with this and 2023. Okay, so they will just put it out in this particular way. So what all the various initiatives happen in this particular regard. Okay, so this mix up with things will happen 2022 and 23 in statements. So you need to be very clear. What is 22 initiatives? What are 23 initiatives? Okay, so that is important. And similarly, we have Indian-led initiatives which were taken up in 22 as well as 23, year 22 and year 23. Okay, so likewise, the questions can be of different nature. Okay, so they can mix the statements. They can have Indian initiatives which are led that can be put in place. Similarly, the CBD, Convention on Biological Declaration, that initiatives, so which we had already 15th COP, that can be mixed here in UNFCCC. So all these are parallel events which are there, which can be merged together, and a question will be there among which you will be asked to choose some statements. So be clear with the Biodiversity Summit, with the UNFCCC Summit. So all these are some similar initiatives. So don't try to confuse with each other. Try to be alert in those areas. Okay. So this is important. Last time also we had a UNFCCC summit, but not much was asked in mains too. But here we may have some of the initiatives which are launched. So we can have some summits which are here. Okay, for mains also. So both prelims and mains, we have initiatives in this regard. Okay. And similarly, the next topic what we have is APEC. This is again important because it's the 30th year meet. Okay, 30th year they meet the APEC summit, the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. And this particular cooperation, which was started in 1989. So we had the history of it, and India is largely linked with this economy, right? So the APEC economy, because those economies with the ASEAN and the Far East countries, so they have been there, but India is not a member, remember, because it is Asia and Pacific, and India is not a member. We are only observer. Okay, we have expressed our wish to join, but still it was not considered. So we are still an observer in this particular area. And similarly, remember that there is one important summit, which is in San Francisco. Recently it happened, and we had the Golden Gate Declaration, a Golden Gate Declaration, where they endorsed the APEC action agenda on climate change and energy security. So all these you have similarity, because in these summit in these 2 years, 22 and 23, almost many summits, whether it is economic or environment or climate related, all these have converged in one area: climate action, the energy security, and so on. Okay, so that is the reason why I always emphasize the intermixing of statements can happen. Okay, so similarly, APEC has 21 members, and its permanent seat is in Singapore. And these 21 members or economies are from ASEAN plus other countries, right? So like Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, and others. So parts of China, Taiwan. So all these countries together, with including Russia and US. So those Pacific nations, so who are all there. So they are around 21 economies. So ASEAN 10 plus others 10. Okay. So one of the significant what do you call the meet what we have. Clear. So here the most important aspect is your area of focus. So area of focus here, APEC, it is mostly economic, okay, trade and economic issues. But here the trade and economic issue with regard to climate change and energy security, because it can have an impact on the economy. So they have targeted this aspect. And similarly, they had a vision of 2040 Putrajaya vision. So Putrajaya is a place in Malaysia. So that vision 2040. So these are certain aspects which they can target. Okay, so what is a number of members, headquarters, their focus area, their theme of this particular thing. So creating a resilient and sustainable future for all. So that is a summit theme for 2023. So likewise, all these aspects they can ask, and whether India is member or not. So India is an observer status in this regard. Clear? Okay. Fine. So the last part is your Global Food Regulators Summit. So first time it happened outside Italy. Usually it will happen in Italy, but for the first time it happened outside Italy in Delhi. Okay, so in New Delhi it happened. So that is the significance of this as a part of on the lines of G20. On the lines of G20. So here you need to remember, you can read about Codex, so which is an important food regulation what we have, and we need to. It's a general regulation what we have across the globe. We also have our own Indian aspect, and then some of the organizations like APEDA, MEPEDA, and especially Export Inspection Council. Okay, so they will just leave all these and they will ask you about Export Inspection Council, which was one of the participants of this event. Okay, so this particular event, which was there, conducted by Ministry of the Food and Health Department as well as food. So both they participated. So in this particular aspect, this Export Inspection Council gets into importance, right? Okay, because for the first time, we have this Export Inspection Council participating in a larger, first time in a sense, in a larger aspect. Okay, so find find about the functions of Export Inspection Council. So naturally, it says inspection. That means what? They try to inspect the export commodities. They try to have quality control, and actually they have standards fixed for exports, and they are advisory in nature. Okay, so they are advisory in nature, and they come under which ministry? So obviously, Ministry of Commerce, right? Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and it is a statutory body. Remember that it is a statutory body which was established by the Union government for quality control of these export products. Okay, and they are having centers at various areas, because many areas we have exports. So naturally they have 5 export inspection agencies. So one in Delhi, one in Chennai, Kochi, Kolkata, and Mumbai. Okay, so almost all 4 metros and Kochi, one important export center. So in all these aspects, you can have an idea upon these Export Inspection Council, which involved in this particular summit. Okay. Apart from that, they had Fudo, Copia, as well as Sangra. So this is just a monograph what they have, whereas Sangra is a overall a common platform across countries. Okay. Across countries, in the sense across the various different countries, they have regulators. So they try to have a common platform for sharing information for that we have. Okay, so these are some of the important areas what we have with respect to these summits regarding India and other aspects of environment. Okay, thank you. So in case of any questions, you can ask me.